Perfect. Welcome, everyone. What day is today? It's Wednesday, March 11th. I'm really excited to be here with you guys and your incredible host, which I'm going to turn the time over to them so they can introduce Joel and get this call started. Today we have Ivy Morales, we have Ashley James, we have Christine Carroll's team, we have Megan, I'm gonna butcher your last name, Mozowski, sorry. And we have Julie Voris, who's going to be our host and take it away. So Julie, why don't you take yourself off mute and introduce our man of the hour?
Oh, this is so exciting. What an honor. Where is Joel? Why can't I even see him?
I'm right here. I'm waving my arms.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, I just needed you to talk, and now I can find you. Well, welcome everyone to this call. We're very excited to have you here. Thank you for making some time out of your evening. I mean, who's not going to make time for Joel Freeman, right? I mean, come on now. So he's going to share with us some information on 10 rounds. If you have not done that sample workout yet, what are you even doing, people? Get over there and do that sample workouts. My good friend, trainer extraordinaire, can't wait to get this program in our hands next Monday. Joel Freeman, will you share with us what makes 10 rounds so special, please?
10 rounds is so special because it's fun and it works, right? I think those are the two things. People want to have fun when they work out, and then they want to see results, and those are the two things. So a little bit of a little story. First of all, I have to say, what's up, everybody? Thanks for jumping on. I love that we're doing these big calls this time, and we can get everybody amped up on it and talk about this. But you know, what's been fun is watching everybody do the sample, and you know, we'll talk about all the concerns, if you will, but I knew there was going to be the typical ones, like how come we don't switch stances and all these different things. So we'll talk about that in a second and, you know, get everybody on the same page with that. But 10 rounds itself, you know, how did it come about? So about a year ago, Carl and I started talking about it, and he was like, hey man, I know you box, and this is something that he's like, I've been really thinking about it, and we know that boxing has become quite popular. The boutique boxing gyms are just exploding right now. They've been everywhere, really, and especially in places like here in LA, like there's one on every corner. And the reason that they've become so popular is they're bringing this level of entertainment and fun into the boxing world while still keeping some sort of authenticity to it. So they brought fun, people are having a great time, and it works. You leave, you're drenched, you're melting, you're just, as we say, you're torching calories and you're melting fat, and who doesn't want that? So this was a task that he was like, hey, what do you think about this? I said, I love it. Let me work on it. I think we could do it. Just give me some time. And it took me about 6 months to really dive in and figure it out. I went through probably about 10 different designs and scrapped them all because I just wasn't feeling it. I'm like, this is something that was going to be based on how I train in my boxing gym with my trainer. She's a former professional boxer from Ireland. We call her the Iron Leprechaun because she beats the crap out of us, and we love it. And that's the thing, is like every time you walk out of a boxing gym, you don't feel beaten down, sometimes beaten up, but you don't feel beaten down, and you don't feel like this was too much, or I'm just always ready to go back. I can't wait for my next session. I can't wait for my next boxing. And I really wanted to bring that into the home world, to you guys, and to everybody that's going to be doing this program. I wanted it to be where you guys had that same feeling. Anybody who does a 10 rounds workout, that's the feeling that I want someone to have. So that took a while to really work on and hone in. And like I said, I went at least 10 different designs and just wasn't feeling it. And then one day it just clicked, and I finally got I knew I had the DNA down, but then I finally was able to get the skeleton figure out of the workout program in its entirety. And I'm an Excel nerd, so I had it all laid out on an Excel spreadsheet, was making sure that it progressed across the week and then across every single week in the program. And that was exactly what I did. And that's how we came to it. And, we tested it out. The B&As, which we could talk about more in a minute, the results are mind-blowing on this. I knew that we were going to get great results, but holy crapola. The results are incredible. That was for you, Julie, so I didn't cuss. So try not to, but it really has been amazing. And so, that was with this was to create a boxing program that is authentic in the world of boxing, that translates into how we do it in the boxing gym, brings this group exercise feel to it and fun, because that's obviously a big part of my DNA of teaching as well, because you want to bring a level of fun and enjoyment into it. And then finishing on that euphoria feeling of all the endorphins that have been released, and to the point where you're like, wow, you know what? I just burned a ridiculous amount of calories. I can't wait to do it again. And I'm so sore, but I can't wait to do it again. And I hate Joel right now, but I can't wait to do it again. And that's honestly what the goal was with this. So, the overall program of it, you can read about, but 10 rounds is a boxing, conditioning, weightlifting program, 6 weeks long, 5 days a week, 3 days for boxing, and 2 days are strength training. Obviously, in my world, you got to lift weights no matter what. So, of course, I had to have some lifting days in there, and then we got 2 of them in there. And that's divided into an upper body and then a lower body strength day. Had a lot of fun with that as well, because I got a chance to bring some new and different things that I love to do in the world of weights. So I did that, and you guys got a little tiny bitty taste in the sample workout, but you just wait till you get the full lifting workouts. Like, just buy dry shampoo. That's all I can say. And slip on shoes, because you're gonna be sore. But yeah, so that's how it all came about. And then the 6-city tour came about, where we were going to film here in Van Nuys, California. We film in the studios where we film all the programs. And there's a huge sound stage that Autumn filmed 80 Day Obsession. We filmed On Wall Is the Work there. And we were going to do something really cool with it, whereas it was going to be the first workout program where we had 2 separate sets in one sound stage. So we were going to build like a boxing ring on one side and then a weightlifting area on the other side. So then, if we were in the boxing workouts, we're going to be here. If we were in the weightlifting workouts, we're going to be here. And that was good. And we were really excited about it. I was like, all right, cool. We're going to do something different. And then I had suggested to my team, so while I'm at home here working on the design of the program, we have a full production team, director, producer, everybody at the office, obviously working with Carl on all the other stuff. And I had suggested to him, I was like, hey, it'd be really fun if we could film in different boxing studios around LA, because there's some really cool ones around here. The one that I work out in Santa Monica, we got Freddie Roach's gym, Wildcard, some really cool places. So like, okay, cool, let's take that in our meeting and we'll let you know. And then like an hour later, they call me back and they're like, so about that, Carl has this thought based on that, and was just thinking that, what do you think just about, filming in 10 different cities across the country? And I was like, well, let's talk about this, because that's a big ask. And we knew that it was an aggressive timeline to obviously get this done in time, so we didn't have to push the launch or anything. So once we really got the gist of it, and I figured out what they were going for, I was like, look, let's do 6 cities, 6 weeks. Let's film a different week in each city. And then it started to just really explode from there. We had an amazing scouting team that found all of our locations. Carl was amped about the bus, and there's just a lot of Joel on that thing. So that was very surreal to see, but we had a great time with it. And, the reason, there's a lot of reasons for it. There's a lot of firsts in this. We'll talk more about that in a second about this program. But, we wanted to bring a new visual experience, which you totally get. You get a new visual experience every single week in this program, which is cool. So it almost is like a whole new program every single week. But from the workout perspective, you're just still progressing through it. So you're still building on everything that you learned in the previous week, yet it still kind of feels brand new. So it's not just the fact you're getting new workouts, you're getting new views every single week of the location. So that's a really cool feature. And then also, we also wanted to showcase the fact that you literally can do this program anywhere. And we did. We shot it on a nightclub in Vegas, 55 floors up, top of the Palms. We shot it in an old ranch area in Fort Worth. Like we literally shot it anywhere and everywhere. And we wanted to showcase that too, and obviously bring some cool hype around that too. So yeah, there's the tribal history of it.
Okay, so I don't see any questions in the chat yet, but do you want to talk about the befores and afters? Do you want to talk about maybe what you expected and then what you saw? I had a coach who was in the test group, and what I saw was like, what?
Which one was yours?
Joy Chatterton, who had amazing results. So
Yeah.
I'm curious what you thought you were going to get and then what you got.
I I knew that we were going to get results. I mean, look, let's be honest. You clean up your nutrition, you start working out, you're going to see results. That's just the reality of it. And we saw some great results in Lift 4 with, that was a different program, different design, and one less day. So we still got, for what it was, we got amazing results. With this one, I knew it was going to be good. I knew that we were going to really get some good shredded people out of it. But it was just, I think what happened was, it wasn't, I don't want to say it was on accident, but what was happening while I was designing it was I was realizing that, and if you guys have done the sample workout, you kind of see this. There's a difference in these types of workouts than there is in a HIIT workout, like where it's not super high interval. It's a high intensity program, but it's basically keeping you in the upper area of your heart rate for the most of the workout, medium to higher, and you do have intervals in that. But there's not these huge spikes and lulls in that. And so because of that, it is created almost like a steady state cardio for 40 minutes. And I think because of that, you're just like the calories are just gone. And because you're in that higher bracket and steady state cardio, you're burning more calories from fat. So that's how I can explain it from a scientific perspective. And their nutrition was on point. They were obviously following 2B mindset or ultimate portion fix. But it really is a thing. I think it's just because the design, don't want to say it was all me, but it was, we just nailed the design. I nailed it from an initial standpoint. And then my fitness director who works for Beachbody, their fitness director, she and I teamed up and we got a lot of hands on it to make sure, we obviously go through it. It goes through a vetting process and so that's what's awesome because there's so many people in it. But from the original design to where we got to it, I can't imagine it being any better than it is. And I think that's a big, I normally wouldn't say that, but I really, truly believe it.
Okay, so one question is, you had mentioned, why don't you switch sides? Do you want to address that now? Because some of these other questions, I'm just going to flat out tell them they can find that stuff in their Coach Online office. So let's use Joel.
Well, we can talk. Let's talk program. I love you, Julie, because you're like a kindergarten teacher. Like, no, read your assignment, read your homework.
Talk about the sides.
Let's talk program and let's talk business. Absolutely. So from the program perspective, look, you guys, it's very, very simple. When it comes to boxing, when it comes to transverse plane of movement, which is rotational plane of movement, it's not necessary to switch sides because you're not loaded up more weight on one side than the other. It's traditional thinking because when you have like one leg forward and the other leg back, traditional thinking is you're like either in a lunge position or something like that. Yeah, that's a weight different. That's a different. One, it's a different plane of movement, and two, it's a different type of exercise. When you're standing and when you're in a boxing stance, your body weight is supposed to be centered over both feet. So if you're not, and I talk about this in the boxing basics, it should be set, boom, right in the middle. And then the rotational movement is how you balance it out. So you guys, I promise you, number one, think logically. You've never seen an imbalanced boxer, like with one arm or one leg bigger than the other. Two, we would obviously never come out with a program that was lopsided. And three, from a scientific perspective, you don't technically have to switch sides. It's boxing 101. You stay in what's called your dominant side because your stronger hand is in the back. And it's also just because it makes it a little bit easier. So it's things like if you like snowboard or things like that, typically your dominant side is in the back. So that's how that works. I promise you, no one's going to be lopsided. Now, obviously, if you feel it more on one side than the other, that's not on the program. That's on you. And you need to watch the boxing basics and fix your stance. But that's why I did the boxing basics so everybody could work on that. I didn't film it just because I love the sound of my voice. I filmed it because I wanted everybody to have a tool to always go back to and look at to practice. So that's what it comes down to with that. So that's why we did that. I wanted to keep this super simple. If you guys did Lift 4, you know that I'm a simple and effective guy. I didn't want to overcomplicate it. So no, we're not doing switching stance on that because you don't do that in boxing. It's a number system, 1 through 6. You guys will learn the number system. You're going to learn the defensive moves. You're going to learn the footwork. That's boxing 101. You guys will see also when you're doing this, again, the sample was just a taste, but when you're actually learning the program, it's all through repetition. And then as we're building on the repetition, it's a lot easier to use numbers, which is why we do it when we're in the boxing gym. So if I teach you a 2-3, then we can do a 2-3-2. Then we do a 2-3-2-5. Then we do a 2-3-2-5 pivot 2. And then we do 2-3-2-5 pivot 2-3. Like these are the things that you're going to just start getting into it. And it's the mind to muscle memory where eventually you get to that point where you're like, I got it. And you guys will totally see everyone that did the test group. It's exactly that. And that's not to freak anybody out, because day one, week one, that workout, you were only going to throw combinations of 1s and 2s the entire workout with conditioning and agility. So I'm going to beat it into your head what a 1 is and what a 2 is. And then the next boxing workout, we're going to add the 3 and the 4. And then you do only combinations of 1, 2, 3s, and 4s. So it's repetition. You're going to be sick of punching, but then it's going to become automatic. So when I say 2-3-2-5, you know exactly how to do it. And that's what boxing is. So that's why we did it that way.
So I do have a write-in question here from my husband, who wants to know if you developed this program to improve your golf game. I think he means his golf game, but
just because he beat me when we played that one time. All right, one time.
A couple questions on here that are repetitive. One about expectant mamas doing this program, and maybe suggestions as to how much weight to lift or to start with.
Look, pregnancy and postpartum is the same answer for it should be the same answer for every single program. Doctor's approval, make sure you know how to modify if and when necessary, because don't message me on how to modify that, because I've never been pregnant. So I'm just going to Google it. I'll tell you, but I'm going to Google it. So might as well, save a middle ground here and Google it and talk to somebody and things like that. But yeah, I've been sharing stories. Pregnant women have been doing this program, but it's because they've gotten clearance and they've been able to, they know how to modify as they go, for sure. Weight selection, light, medium, heavy, loops, the beach resistance loops, that's what you need, and a towel. Everything that we use in the sample workout is what you're going to need in the program. And as Christy says, yes, GTS.
Yes, that's why she's
If you don't know what that means, Google it.
She's on my team, baby. That's right. So what are some key words that we can use to help share this program? If we were sharing it, especially with people who might not, and I know a lot of test group members had never done boxing before. So
Sure.
there might be a little trepidation in, coming into this program, never having done it. What are some words or some phrases, or how can we share it with people, especially if they've never done any kind of boxing?
Well, that was the point of this whole program. Like, I'm not going to design this. I'm not going to design a program for people who are already boxing because they're already boxing. That'd be a waste of time. So you guys, this program is designed for people who have never, it's supposed to be, that was the mindset, was to design something for someone who has never thrown a punch ever, who has never stepped into a boxing gym for whatever reason. That's who this program is designed for. And also, when I'm designing it, it's like, okay, cool. So someone who is been doing, because like you guys are all coaches. I know you're going to do the program at some point. You're coaches. Of course you should. So we know that, but we want to make sure that it's designed for people, the 80% of the population who aren't doing anything. That's who we're going after. That's our target audience, right? That's who all you guys should be going after, not the person who's already exercising or who is already going to a boxing gym and saying, hey, come over here and do this workout right now. That's not going to work. So you want to bring this into people who aren't exercising and let them know that it's designed for that way. I promise you as well, you're going to get a great workout no matter what your fitness level is. It doesn't matter how long you have been boxing or not boxing. This program will give you a workout no matter what. So those trigger words are repetition, boxing basics, start from the basics. Basics and boxing basics are really the biggest thing. That's why there's a boxing basics video. And it's all based on repetition. It's funny, as adults, and I'm seeing this more and more, and especially as we get into this program, as adults, we're like so quick to quit and say, I can't do it versus, but what do we tell our children? We don't tell our children that. They're like, I can't do it. And you're like, good, you should quit. Like, who says that? So, as adults, we're so susceptible to saying, trying something once and saying, I can't do it, versus actually understanding that it takes time and effort and repetition. And that's how you do it. And that's how you learn something new. And that's exactly what this is.
Okay, I think I got here's a new one. How is the boxing different maybe than Core to Force?
It's basically the same program. We might as well just make two same programs. You guys, come on. It's listen, it's human nature to want to compare the unknown to the known and say, well, what's it like? Well, like it's not like anything. Like a punch is a punch, a squat is a squat. So if you want to get nitpicky about it, cool. You can compare it till you're blue in the face. But Core de Force is an MMA style training program. There's no weightlifting. It's all body weight. It's rather technical. We had a great time putting a lot of fun to it. But it is a challenging program. It's technical, and because it's body weight, there's a lot of push-ups in it. There's just there's a lot of things to it, and it's only how many workouts? How many DVDs did we do? 14, I think total. 14 workouts in the entire thing. This is progressive. This builds on itself. There's no other program in the library that builds on itself like this one does. From the boxing perspective, especially, there's no boxing program in the library like this, authentic boxing training. The conditioning element, the weightlifting element, it is a standalone program. So you guys, you definitely don't want to do yourself an injustice in talking to people and saying it's like this, but different. Just simply, this is new, this is different, this is why we go and spend our efforts. Otherwise we would have called it Core de Force Part 2. So we want so make it, and the whole point of me telling you guys that is you want to make it easier on yourself in talking to people about this program, is saying, you guys, this is something new. We've never had it before. That in itself creates a lot more excitement and interest than saying, well, it's kind of like this and this had a baby. I've heard a lot of people say, well, it's like Lift 4 and Core de Force had a baby. No, it's not. It's nothing like that, I promise.
You want to speak a little bit to the nutrition. You mentioned that the test group had their nutrition dialed in.
Yeah.
A little bit about that.
Yeah, what's really cool where we're at and right now in Beachbody is the fact that we have 2 established fitness platforms. And I love that. We have 2B Mindset and we have Ultimate Fortune Fix. And this is the first time we've ever had this. Back in the day, even when we did Core de Force, but before that, it was always about like, oh man, we got to come up with some cool nutrition with the program. So it was like, we would come up with the program, they're like, and now we're going to mess with your carbs a little bit. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. So every time you started a new fitness program, you had to go into that nutrition platform or the nutrition that was correlated and connected with that. And it was confusing because it was changing all the time. So now what we've done, and we all know it now, it's no mystery, it's consistency, right? You have to establish a consistent fitness nutritional platform, or you have to establish a consistent nutritional platform. And so now you can get people, and this is why people were getting such great results, is they weren't yo-yoing, they weren't changing anything up. They had already been on 2B Mindset or Ultimate Portion Fix, and then all they did was start doing the workouts. That was it. You might have to adjust your calories a little bit because you're obviously going to go super intense and burn more calories in 10 rounds. But that's it. That's an easy trend. That's an easy tweak versus actually trying to do a whole new nutrition platform. So that's why I love it, because now it's a plug and play. So we do nutrition, bam, fitness, ta-da. There you go.
Someone asked why they put the towel around their neck for some of the moves in the sample workout, in that agility portion.
So in the conditioning and agility workout, or the conditioning and agility rounds and 10 rounds, you will always have a towel around your head. There's 2 reasons for it. Number 1, it helps keep you trained to keep your guard up. And number 2, it takes all of your upper extraneous body movement out. When people like to do all these lower body moves that I put into it, people like to, kind of do this and all these different things. It gets rid of all that. So it basically makes every day a leg day. So you're welcome on that.
So when it drops on March 16th for coaches, we get the prep workouts, and we get 2 prep workouts still. 2 prep workouts?
Yeah. So let me see. Hold on. Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Test group, you have both nutrition. In test groups, did you have both nutrition? Yes, in the test group, both nutrition programs were used. Sorry, Julie, I was jumping ahead on this. Yeah, so we used, but there were people that used 2B Mindset and Ultimate Portion Fix. I think someone was asking, because I wanted to just, low impact, yes. And is it low impact, and why intermediate instead of beginner intermediate? Because it's not my company. I don't get to make all the decisions about how they classify it. So in the BOD library right now, there's no way to have multiple classifications. That's why. So they decided to put it intermediate on that one. And I saw another thing about it. Oh, and then the recovery cool down options. This is kind of like a game time decision. We decided not to put a cool down into this. And I know it's a first and everybody's like, what? You mean we don't have to stretch anymore? No, of course not. That's not what we're saying. But from a lot of, statistics and polls and people and all this stuff, we market research that we know that a lot of people actually like to cool down on their own. The majority of people, they stop it right when the workout's over and they use the time to, whatever they're doing is to cool down. I obviously do a throw at the end of every single workout in the program to make sure you cool down, drink your hydrate, drink your recover. That's what the 2 rest days are for. And we're doing a lot of throws to that. But then also, just from straight up brutal honesty standpoint, it's called total runtime on BOD when they're looking at the total runtime. If it's under 40 minutes, then they have they're more susceptible to push play. And if it's over 40 minutes, they're going to say, I don't have enough time for it. So we just put this was like, trust me, we had a lot of conversations and a lot of meetings about should we do it or not. And I was like, look, you guys, let's just not, I'll deal with it. And they were like, cool. Because a lot of people like to do it on their own. And obviously it's just stretching at this point. So there was no reason to try. Otherwise they're just gonna be like, okay, and a shoulder stretch and a shoulder stretch and a leg stretch and a leg stretch. And thanks for coming. So, it's in everything else. We've been there, done that. Okay. Sorry.
You're good. So there are just a couple others, like when should they do the rest days and things like that. Some of that stuff is probably in the program if you want to address it.
Watch the, there is I think it's the getting started video. I want to tell you what it's exactly called in the program materials where we talk all about that. So you definitely want to show everybody how the calendar works. Yes, 10 rounds getting started. It is 6 minutes long. Y'all got 6 minutes. Show that to people because it talks about that. It talks about the calendar. You guys know I'm a huge proponent of live your life and would never design a program where it dictates your life. It's the other way around. So this program totally fits into that as well. So Julie, you were asking, so let's talk business. You were asking about the what's dropping, what's coming up.
Workouts, is that still correct?
Yeah, so the 2 prep work, it's interesting. So normally when we wrap a filming, we have like a month or something before something drops. And then we have a couple more weeks before something drops. And like, I got home Saturday from being gone for 5 weeks. I'm like, whoa, sample workout drops in 2 days. Actually, they did it on Vimeo. So the sample dropped the day I got home. And then my social media was just blowing up. I'm like, holy crap. So it's been nonstop, which is amazing because now I think we're just going to ride this momentum wave 100% as we go into this. So what's going to happen is right now you have the sample workout, you've got the getting started, the boxing basics, and you have the nutritional video. So you definitely want to utilize all that between now and Monday. Sunday night, at some point, the prep workouts will drop and then everything goes on sale, obviously, for you guys. This is the cool thing. If you buy the early access, you get the 2 prep workouts, but you also get the first week of the program, the actual program. That's on Monday. Friday, you're going to get week number 2 of the program. And then the next Friday, you're going to get week number 3. And that's going to keep going until April 6th when we go VIP early access. So you as a coach can technically start this program this Monday. I know I just saw everybody's head go on that. So everybody's like, oh my God, I don't want to wait till April 6th. Cool, you don't have to. It's coming. There you go. So you can technically start this program on Monday. That's 100% up to you on how you want to utilize that. If you have a challenge group starting on April 6th, then great. Spend these couple of weeks getting really familiar with this program and how to talk to people about it. Especially if you do like the first couple of weeks, then you're going to be able to really address all these concerns the way I'm addressing them with you about people who are like, I don't know, is this too hard for me to get? You're like, no, man, I just did the first 3 weeks and I am nailing it right now because of the repetition, because of this, because of that. The other point, and the other thing with that is Monday starts the VIP launch Facebook group with me, yours truly, where you get to listen to the sultry sounds of my voice all day, every day for 1 solid week. And I'm going to be in that group the entire week. Just talking about this. I'll go live every day. I'll answer questions about it. To be announced who else is going to be in there. We'll probably talk some nutrition. So if I get Autumn and Ileana in there, we'll do that. But the biggest thing about that group, the biggest new thing is the fact that that group is open to everybody. you as a coach, your prospects, your customers, they don't even have to buy anything and they can get in that group. So this is a great opportunity. So if you have anybody who is on the fence, who isn't sure, what do I do? Should I be a part of this? Get them into that group. Sydney, if you have the link that you can put in the chat by chance, that'd be awesome. Then like, that's it. Like, so there's so many firsts that are happening in this program, not just from the workout perspective, but from the business perspective, as we're talking about that. And then, the main thing is those BNAs. You got to use those things, man, because that is, everybody is always asking, what is this program going to do for me? Anytime there's a new program coming out, what is this program going to do for me? And that is when you just should be going, boom, and just putting that in their face. This is what that program can do for you.
Well, Sydney, I think, should we wrap up? Because I know that he's got more calls tonight.
I have a few, no big deal.
So thank you so much for not only taking your time tonight to talk to us, but thank you for the time and energy you put into this. I mean, the fact that you went on the road, the fact that you've filmed this program in such a game-changing, completely new way. Thank you for doing that. And in a world that feels kind of wonky and weird right now, thank you for giving us another tool that helps us serve people and helps us, stay calm in the crazy. And thanks for all that you do. And if any of you are not following Joel on Instagram, again, what is your life? You need to be following him. And he's one of the best trainers that we have at really talking through some of this stuff, just even on his social. So as a coach, be learning from him on his social as he's sharing all of this as well. And you should just be following him anyway. So.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, I post pictures of the cats, and that's usually before or after. But yeah, like, it's seriously, and Julie knows this, and a lot of you might not know this, but I know this business. I didn't do the fitness part first. I did the business of the fitness before anything else. So I've been in this business for, don't make me do math, since I was 18, 37, do the math, 19 years. Wow. And I've sold everything. I've sold memberships. I've sold personal training. Like, I know how to talk to people about this. I was the marketing director for Gold's Gym. Like, so I know how to talk to people about this. And that's why I get so excited when I get to do a new program, because then I get to do this, and then we get to talk about it, and then I get to do the Facebook group, and then we get to, bring it in there. And I know that right now, like Julie just said, everything's wonky. Everything's dropping about Success Club. Everything's going on with the beer flu. I know I call it the beer flu because I think it's funny. But look, in all reality, not saying you capitalize on that, but ain't nobody going to the gym, you guys, to work out right now. Just saying. So why would you not capitalize on the fact that everyone is freaked out to not leave their home? So there you go. Work out at home. Hello. We have been waiting for this moment our entire Beachbody lives, people, for the beer flu. So take advantage of it. And I really promise you, if you use all the assets that you have in your back office, the sample, everything that we have available for you guys, I promise you, this will be the biggest launch of your career. I am doing everything I can. Sydney and I, we all know it. This can and will be the biggest launch of Beachbody history. I'm not going to stop till it happens. We're going to make it happen. And the only way we're going to make it happen is with you guys. So let's get to work.
Thank you, Joel. We can't wait till Monday. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
I love it. Thanks, guys. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys get in the group on Monday. Let's go. Thanks, Julie. Bye-bye. Have a good night.